Hi, I'm John Messer. I'm the Leadership Development Catalyst for Luminex, and today I'd like to talk to you about one more subject in systems thinking for church leaders. One of the things about systems thinking is it helps us get to reality when we're not sure really what's real. And in a church, it's sometimes difficult to get beyond the level of events and maybe patterns to what's the structure that underlies it. Because remember, the truth is that a system is perfectly designed to produce the outcomes that you're seeing. And if the outcomes are not what you're intending, it isn't just that the events are wrong, it's that the structure is wrong and there probably are mental models that need to be changed. So let's take an example of how this works. Because when the system is producing outcomes that we don't appreciate, sometimes it's because we have reacted at the level of events rather than getting below the surface to the structure and our mental models. And an example would be, what about church attendance? Let's say that we're a part of a church that the attendance has been declining, which is happening a lot in our culture these days. So in our attendance decline, we're very concerned, and people start saying like, well, if we took better care of the people we have, if we just pay more attention to the people who are already here, we wouldn't lose people. And so what do? Well, there's a lot of pressure there to focus inward. And so what we do is pay attention to inward focus. And what happens then is by paying attention inwardly, giving most of our attention inward to the congregation, what that does actually is increases our attendance decline. Our attendance decline actually continues to go down. Why? Well, here's why. Because paying attention to attendance decline is looking at an event. And you're applying a quick fix to that event. And any quick fix that you apply usually will have a lot of unintended consequences. And here's the unintended consequence. When you pay attention to the inward focus at the exclusion of an outward focus, you can't do both. You say you don't believe that you can do both. So what happens is you don't pay attention inward, or you don't pay attention outward. And when you don't pay attention outward, your attendance continues to go down. And here's the issue. By paying attention to the quick fix of focusing on the inward congregation and ignoring the outward focus of those outside the church who don't know Christ, we're not only not accomplishing our mission, but we're minimizing our opportunity to continue to bring people into the kingdom and into the church. And so what we think is going to keep our attendance up actually declines our attendance more, because the quick fix has the unintended consequence of actually decreasing our outreach and our evangelism. So let me give you one more layer of this. Here's how this works biblically. Two key words, koinonia, which is fellowship, and philoxenia, which is hospitality. And if you look at Romans 12:13, you'll find that koinonia is about caring for those within the body. And then it says, and be sure to practice hospitality. In the same verse, it's talking about both of those. But it does not mean focusing in the same direction for both of those. Because koinonia is focused inward, and philoxenia, love or kindness to strangers, is focused outward. Our problem is that we have believed our mental model is that we have to do one or the other. So it's either fellowship, it's either koinonia, or it's philoxenia, hospitality. But our mission as Christian leaders is to do both at the same time. So if we look inward to the detriment of outward, we're not accomplishing our mission and attendance will go down. So my challenge to you is this. If you're applying quick fixes, be sure to look below the surface at the structures and the mental models of what you're doing, because that way you can avoid many of the unintentional bad consequences for quick fix responses. And remember, in the church, it's not a matter of koinonia or hospitality. It's not inward or outward. It's both and. Both at the same time. That's our mission. Thanks. I hope that you're able to make our Luminex Leadership Day. We'll be talking a lot more about this, and God bless you as you lead with systems thinking.